So, good afternoon everyone. My name is Prahalad Singh Maan. I am working in a company called Racket Bankiger, and I am protecting our business through my team while doing auditing and compliance and building shared success at my organization. Uh, I hear all of my fellow speakers, and they talk about the quality, they talk about the sustainability, they talk about the various model, but I am not going to talk about quality, let me tell you, because my topic is different, and there is one common thread in every company, every business, wherever you are, it's people. So I am talking about the people and how their learning and growth is important in the sustainability of your business or quality. Before going to my next slide, this is the exercise I do with every this kind of meeting, and it is not to engage you, it is to stabilize myself on this platform because I get some time around that. So I have one question for you, and I am going to give you 10 seconds. So there will be a statement which is going to appear on the screen, and you need to count the number of F in that statement, and that tell that whether you are here with me or not. Okay, so your time start now. Okay, so how many of you seen 3F in this statement? Raise your hand. Almost everyone should have seen 3F at least. 4, very good. 5 and 6. And there is no fail pass answer here, but actual number of F is 6. And let me tell you, there is a thing here that there are certain F which are coming at the first letter of a word, and there are certain which are coming at the last, like in of. So usually people forget to see the last one and they see the first one. That's where that's the difference. But again, the exercise is to stabilize myself here and to bring you here in this room so that we have a good discussion. Now, do you strongly agree that you need, if you need to transform your organization, you need to transform yourself? How many of you agree on this statement? Strongly agree? Okay, very good. And that's right, that's true. Because some time back there is a survey which is done by Egon Gender with 100 CEO, and he found that 80% of the CEOs strongly believe that if you need to transform your organization, you need to transform yourself. And these numbers are not the same before pandemic. Before pandemic, they are just 26%. They have increased suddenly to 80% because suddenly you found yourself in an era of disruptions, technological evolutions, and because you were not used to that, you suddenly realized that you need to transform yourself with the pace of the business and industries are developing and to tackle the disruptions happening around the environment. Now, slowly coming back to my topic around the people. Now, that's the another survey basically which is done by World Economic Forum, and this is the worker who is likely to leave the company within next 12 months, and that has recently seen. So red one, you can see those are the people who are basically less satisfied, and they found 5 factors which drive the employee to quit the organization. First one is the people are not finding their job useful for them. Basically they see that their job is not fulfilling their dream, their ambitions, or their day-to-day kind of passion. And there are people who feel that they can not be true self at work because they are somewhere hesitating to express themselves, and they are not feeling true self. And then other thing that there are people who is not feeling fairly rewarded financially in the organization. I'm not talking about that point about finance, but and then people to feel their team care about them. So there are people who don't feel that their team is caring for them, and similarly for the individual team member, that their managers basically care for them. So these are the top 5 factors which are driving this, that people are quitting the organization. Now, I have not developed anything. I don't have my own success mantra. I'm just going through the various literatures, and I'm utilizing those resources. And somewhere if something is resonating me, something is connecting me with which I'm doing in my organization, in my previous role, that give me confidence that I should share that. You people might have listened this, you people might have already gone through those things which I'm going to talk, but important thing here is basically to create the spark in the mind. If you have already done it and now it's gone into the somewhere else, you are not utilizing it. And if you have not seen it, you can see the basically take your time to go through it in deep and see whether it help you or not. Now coming to the learning and growth. So there are 2 pictures. The top picture is basically talking about the super highway of routine things which we do. So every day whatever we do, we have a set up routine. Similarly in the organization also where we are working, we have a routine to see the things, we have a routine to take the decisions, and we have a routine to deal with the people. And that become basically are making us complacent. But when you want to grow, you need to change your routines. And why I am saying the change your routines? Because world is changing very fast. The thing which you have learned, things which has worked for you in the past is not going to work in future. And maybe currently we are struggling to see some of the thing which has been successful in past but not successful now. So for that, I am going to talk about the S curve of learning. So you people might have seen it, it's not a new concept. So there are 3 phases here. One is the launch point, one is the sweet spot, and one is the mastery, the third thing. And I think with that discussion, what I am going to say, that why it is difficult for the people to face difficulty at the start point, and then there are the point where they become highly productive, they become very successful, and then when they achieve the mastery or expertise in their field, then they slightly start feeling, they get bored and they are not feeling the same passion as it was earlier in their job. Now talk about the launch point. So this is the point when you basically start any job, or you let's say you take any decision, you start making your own house, or you start a journey, planning, anything, a project, you correlate with it, anything, but I am talking about specifically on the job. So when you start a new job, whether it's a first job or whether you are changing job within the organization or next organizations. So what happens, you come to the new environment suddenly, you come to the new expectations, you come to the new, you are meeting with the new peoples, and it takes some time for you to understand the overall environment and to start basically producing the results. Since in this phase you are not very fast, so the dopamine, which is a hormone which makes us feel happy, which makes us feel motivated, which makes us feel achieved, is become low in our body, and we don't feel the same, and then growth is also slow. So we don't feel comfortable in this phase. When we come to the next phase, which is the sweet spot, after a certain time, slowly we start knowing the procedure, we start knowing the people, and then we start delivering the result. The moment we start delivering the result, we start feeling achievements, and when we feel achievements, the dopamine increase, and then we produce more, we become highly productive, and then we keep growing. This is the phase you grow very fast and you feel very good in this phase. And then the third phase. When you achieve the mastery, you again come to your super highway of routine. You're doing the same thing again and again, and you start getting bored because there is no more achievements. No more achievements means you are not achieving new thing. You see, every day I'm coming here, I'm doing the same thing, there is nothing to learn. And then automatically, whether you recognize or not, your energy level become down. You are not the same person who was there in the sweet spot when you are growing very fast. And you see, I think I need to find something else, or I don't know what is happening around. So with that, if we know that there are three phases, the launching sport and then the sweet sport and then the mastery. So this is quite predictable. If this is predicted way for the success, for learning and growth, I think we can manage it better. And if we manage it better, then we can make the better result for ourselves. We can grow more, we can grow our company, we can grow our people who are working around us. How we can do that as a leader? Now again, I am coming to the same point. When we come to the launch point, if you are at the launch point or your team member at the launch point, I think as a leader, the most important thing that we should value in experience. Because whenever a person comes to the new role, he doesn't have the experience of that particular activity or that particular task. So we need to value that an experience. And in this phase, because the person, whether me or my team member, we don't feel high on energy, we remain confused and we feel basically stressed, and that's where the people need support. So you can provide feedback, okay, and it is easy. We can say that it is easy, that the whatever feeling you are going through, that's normal. So nothing new to it, and you are going to over it very soon. When the person move to the sweet spot, and this is the time when you have to keep focus that person or yourself. If you stay focused and if you focus on a certain activity, you are going to get more and more out of that activity. So that's the area where you need to stay focused, you need to keep your team focused, and don't drag into various priorities, because if you drag to various priorities, that will create disruptions, and that's going to basically disrupt the focus itself. When come to the mastery, this is the time when you can basically think, challenge yourself or challenge your team member to start learning new things, to start doing the new things. If you are not challenging in that way, then you are not going to grow further, and you can keep pushing. In the team, you will find that certain people always remain happy for whatever they are doing, but ultimately that impact the overall environment around those people. So it is better to keep pushing, give them additional challenge so that they remain motivated and they also show the different kind of energy. Now, before going to the next slide, I want to ask a question. How many of you are at launch point at your career right now? Starting a new job, transfer to the new department? No one at launch point? Okay. Oh, yeah, now coming. So you might be resonating something. And then how many of you are at sweet spot? Okay, and then look like we have more masters here than the people who are at launch point and sweet spot. Yeah, it is a self-assessment. Everybody feel that we are a master, but actually I want to resonate it with the path, launch point, sweet spot, and the mastery. Now, if you are a leader of your organization, how you want to distribute the people in 3 different bucket, like in your team members, how many percentage, let's say, should be there in launch point, sweet spot, and the mastery. And that's the key question, I think. You don't have to answer now, but you need to think. If you have more people at launch point, you are interval. If you have more people in the mastery, then you have an interval. So you need to see the distribution of your people so that you can get out more of that. For me, I think it is 20% at launch point, 60% at sweet spot, and 20% at mastery level is work for me. And I usually, whenever I do the annual assessment or mid-year assessment, we try to maintain that thing. How it is basically, if we know that the growth is predicted, so I can say that the outcome is also predicted. When we do that, we see that our team will remain engaged, they will remain motivated, people feel cared, because as a manager, when you discuss with them, when you support them and launch point, when you keep them focused on the sweet spot, and then you give them additional challenge on the mastery stage, I think they will feel cared and they will see that they are valued and they are making contribution to the organization. And it will increase retention in the organization. Also, it will increase the knowledge capital, because when it increases the retention, the knowledge capital will also increase. You are not going to drain that. Sustain improvement and ultimately help your business to grow. So that's what I thought to share here. Thank you very much. If